What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday, the 24th of October, 2024. It is 9:05 a.m. here in Germany. This is the Insanity Report for today. Now, this is not really a news story, but probably new for a lot of people. There is a teacher in Ireland. I don't have his name at the top of my head, but that's not the point. The point is, this teacher refused to call a so-called trans student by their pronouns they desired, or refer to them as a woman, even though it's a guy. And he was basically suspended with pay, the teacher, right? So he was suspended with pay until the internal investigation on this matter was carried out, right? So this teacher was like, yeah, no, I've been at this school forever, right? And I'm going to continue to teach my classes, and I'm not going to even pay any attention to this craziness, because actually the guy's right. You know what I mean? You can't be forced to call a student a woman when it's a man, and you can't be forced as an adult, you know, to use whatever pronouns this fucking God, what should I call it? Bratty, snot-nosed little fuckhead wants. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? That's not how it works, right? And it's not a university where the kids are, you know, paying, $500,000 to go to school, where even then you would think that's kind of a crazy rule, right? But, you know, the kid has no leg to stand on. It's a high school kid who needs to just stop feeling like he's entitled, and stop demanding shit, and shut his little bratty ass mouth and sit down, and otherwise get suspended or go the fuck home, cut school, whatever. You know what I mean? It's crazy that these little snot-nosed pricks can dictate to teachers, and just like at work, you know what I'm saying? These snot-nosed little fuckers can dictate to their bosses how their bosses are supposed to act around them, what they're supposed to call them. I mean, the world is turning crazy, right? And this whole trans thing is crazy because what it's trying to do is it's trying to force us to use certain words when we refer to them. So it's not like, it's forced speech usage, which is just as bad as censorship, right? But okay, this teacher had some balls, which is good. We need more people like him. And he went back to the school, even though he was basically legally not allowed to enter the school during this internal investigation of his horrific crime of calling a little entitled piece of shit who has no brain and thinks he's a girl. You know what I'm saying? For him not to go along with the fantasy of this kid, he has now committed one of the gravest sins known to man these days against the woke doctrine. And so there has to be an investigation. That's where the money has to go to, is in time to investigate this teacher's bad behavior. And how long can that take? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he was suspended, basically. So not the student, the teacher is suspended from his job. He was with pay, you know, he was with pay, he did get paid. But he decided, no, I'm not going to play this game. And he went back to the school, upon which he got arrested, and he's been in jail ever since. Now, I don't know exactly why he's been in jail so long, because I think I heard it mentioned that it's been like 400 days, so longer than a year. And for trespassing, I don't think even in Ireland, which is becoming more and more authoritarian, just like England itself, just like Canada, just like Brazil. You know, you name any one of these countries that considers themselves a democracy. Germany's the same. They're all becoming way, way more authoritarian because of speech, and the reason for that is they, they're losing control of their power, and so they're going to have to be more harsh to keep a hold of it, right? So this teacher's been in jail for that long. Now, what I'm trying to get at here is there are people, right? There are people out there that look at situations like this already, right? we already had the point where people thought this is completely insane. When Jordan Peterson came out against it in Canada, the speech codes, everybody thought, wow, that's crazy, right? They were at the point of, okay, I can't believe it's happening. So they basically discounted what Jordan Peterson said. Then we've, moved on a couple of years and people see that it is happening, right? That we're getting to the point now where children are getting sex changes and are being put on hormones and puberty blockers and Ozempic and whatever the fuck else. You know what I mean? And now people are waking up to it and going like, yeah, okay, that is happening. It's not great. But the outcry and the outrage is missing for me, right? Because we can't, as a society that is based on freedom, free speech, values of freedom, we cannot just lean back and let this happen. That a school can dictate to its teachers, you will go along with whatever sick, stupid fantasy some little snot-nosed entitled piece of shit has, and otherwise you will be fired. And if you choose to go against that, we might even throw your ass in jail. So what I hear people, there's like other podcasters also here in Germany talking about this deal, and what they're doing is basically trying to say, look, there's a lot of outrage about this case in Ireland, but guys, he's not in jail for not using pronouns. He's in jail because he broke the rules that the school told him he is not allowed to enter school grounds or enter the building during the time of this investigation. That's the reason he's in jail. Well, to me, the people that are purporting this are just helping downplay the situation, right? They're just helping downplay the situation, because what people are doing is going, well, he's in jail because of he broke the rules when he was told he was not allowed to enter the building. He came in the building, and that's why he's in jail. So people relax. It's not the pronouns thing. Ireland isn't turning into a crazy authoritarian George Orwell state, and so they're basically kind of trying to smooth it over. Look, the reason the guy's in jail is because he didn't use pronouns. Because if he would have used the pronouns, he would have never got investigated, never got told he could never enter the school, and this whole problem wouldn't have been there. So that is why he's in jail. I disagree completely with the analysis of these other podcasters that are saying, but that's not the reason he's in jail. Look, that's the reason he's in jail. He's in jail because a society is normalizing being told what they can and cannot say, right? They're normalizing that forced speech is starting to take place in workplaces, in schools, and sometimes even in government institutions. Look, here in Germany, these same podcasters that I'm talking about right now, they got a letter from the government, right, that they would have to pay up to 250,000 euro if they called this dude that they were talking about a dude again. You know what I'm saying? And I put him up on I put a picture up of him. It's a guy. He wanted to get into a women's gym, and he, said he was a woman. He offered to put a bathing suit on when in the shower so the women wouldn't feel uncomfortable. But of course, he didn't get let in, and they were reporting on this deal. And the man, who is clearly a man, just because he thinks he's a woman doesn't mean he's a woman, right? And even if he is a woman, I don't have to call him a woman because I can call him whatever the fuck I want. Right? But the government got involved and told these guys, if you call this guy a man again on your podcast, or this woman a man again on your podcast, you can be fined up to 250 grand. That's crazy. Right? And as far as I know, they basically went along with it because they say, look, it's not important enough to us to risk this fight. Well, people like that are, I'm sorry, they do a lot of other good stuff. I don't want to discount them completely. But if that's the attitude people are going to have, then we're going to lose this battle, right? Then within the next 5 years, we'll all be calling entitled little stupid pricks from school, little boys who think they're girls, will all be forced by law at the point of a gun to call these little boys little girls because that's what they want. Otherwise, their feelings will get hurt. Oh my God. Maybe their feelings do need to get hurt. Kids like this need bullies, right? I've said that over and over again. They need bullies. They need a kid that's stronger than them, that forces them to stand up for themselves and stop being such whiny little bitchy pussies. That's what they need, right? Bullies are good for kids like this. I think it's crazy. And so what I don't agree with is that these same podcasters are now like trying to, because people are outraged about this Ireland case, right? People are outraged about the case, and they're like, look, this is unacceptable. But then podcasters like these guys are pointing out, okay, but guys, don't freak out because look, he's not in jail because of the pronouns thing. It's because he went into the school when he wasn't allowed to. And even then, he's been there for like a year. You know what I'm saying? Even more. So what the hell's that about? Trespassing didn't give you more than a year. Now, maybe there's some things about the case that I'm missing here, but it all started with this pronoun shit. See, where 10 years ago, or when I was growing up, this would have never been an issue. If I would have walked into my class in high school and told my shop teacher that now he's going to refer to me as they, them, or zer, and now I'm a woman because I say so, I would have been ostracized and I would have been bullied to the end of high school, for sure. They would have never let it go. None of the kids would ever let it go. The teachers would even join. They would not protect me. They would probably join in the bullying. You know what I mean? They would laugh me out of the school, as it should be, right? As it should be. These kids have no rights to demand shit from adults or teachers or any shit like that. None. They shouldn't. First, life experience. First, some fucking, grown-up jobs or grown-up things or tasks. First, not crying about every little thing that happens in life that disappoints you. And then maybe you can have a seat at the table. But a snot-nosed little fuckface that thinks he's a woman, that just wants to feel entitled and force people to bend at his will, they get no seat at the table. That's what society has to be doing. Society has to be putting these people back in their corner and saying, no, this is not happening. This is not happening. And right now, we've got a weak society. So what's going to happen is if people continue to take this this type of shit and go, well, meh, but yeah, well, okay, but yeah, he doesn't have to, I get it that he didn't call them the pronouns, but I also get it that he's in jail for trespassing. Well, I don't, because like I said, it would never happen if the guy wouldn't have, if this pronouns bullshit and this trans crap wouldn't be a thing, right? It wouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. People can think whatever they want about themselves. They can do whatever they want for themselves. You know what I mean? But they can't force other people to play a part in their delusion. And we're getting to the point where that is happening. And that's not acceptable. So the people that are outraged about this deal in Ireland with this guy should remain outraged about it, because it is this woke bullshit that is causing this problem to happen. So that's why I wanted to talk about this today, is because I think that it's very important that we continue to highlight this stuff, and very important to continue to say no. Because again, remember COVID, when not enough people said, because not enough people said no, we were forced like little children without any agency to wear a non-working paper fucking diaper that probably caused more harm than good on our faces anytime we went out in public, because that's what some dumb shit that turned out to be completely wrong told everybody to do, and nobody had the balls, except for me and a couple other people in my area, to stand up and say, no, I'm not playing that shit. No. If we don't want to get overrun with insanity, because that's what's happening, you know what I mean? That is what's happening. And yes, we are winning. And yes, hopefully Trump will win and go back to the White House, and things will kind of stabilize themselves, maybe all over the world. That would be great. But that's not a win. We need to get rid of this woke insanity. They should have no, it's an ideology, and as I always say, ideology should have no seat at the power table whatsoever. Another thing I constantly say that probably people are getting tired of hearing is this is why we do not let Scientology and Tom Cruise run the show politically. That would be bananas. But yet we're doing it with the wokery. You know what I'm saying? The wokeism is taking over everything. And we need to stop it as a society. The government is not going to help, right? Until the society stands up and says, okay, anybody that's for this, we're not voting for. Anybody that continues this trend, we're getting rid of. And that's what society wants from our politicians. And then they will back off. They will help us. once we get the right politicians in power, or once the people that are in power feel threatened. Now, the power people right now are feeling threatened all over the world because there is an uprising of populism happening as we speak, and that is great news. But that's just on the political side at the moment. In society, we are still doing too little. People are still too afraid of confrontations with other people. Right? So they're afraid to speak up in public. They'll vote maybe differently now, and the uprising is coming. But people will not go against the social dictate because they're afraid, even still. Right? And people do need to stand up. People do need to say no to this kind of shit. Right? So the guy that tried to get in the gym, that's a guy. And the government can threaten me with whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? I am not going to do it. It's a no. I'm not going to abide. I'm not going to adhere. You can threaten me with whatever you want. If you threaten me with a fine of $2.5 million or $250,000, that's fine. I don't have that money. So go ahead. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting it. And if it gets too rough, I'll just leave Germany. It's just that simple. Right? If they put too much pressure on me, I'll just leave. But I'm not going to bend to their will on this fucking trans bullshit. Not a chance. Not even the trans shit, the woke shit in general. No, I am not playing the woke game. I'm not going to do it. And we need more people to do that. Guys, look, that's about it for today with the Insanity Report. If you want to get videos or the articles I write all in your inbox directly, all you have to do is subscribe to my Substack. Below are the links. You can do that for free. You can do it for $5 a month, which I would really appreciate. And if you're watching this on another platform, go ahead, follow me there. But in the end, do come to it'sallaboutlogic.substack.com, to it'sallaboutlogic.substack.com, and subscribe there, because then you get all my content centrally, directly into your inbox as soon as it comes out, which is easier for you, easier for me. You don't have to wait for some notification you may never get because the other platforms are banning or shadow banning or censoring or whatever. Substack doesn't do that. Rumble doesn't do that. X doesn't do that. So those are the platforms to be on. And follow me here. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow on the next Insanity Report. And then also look for the weekly rant of the weekend and the podcast recommendations. We'll see you guys on the next one.